It is a cold and, believe it or not, snowy day up here at the building. And today, I'm gonna be solving for a little issue that I've been having with the garage in the winter. And that's the gap underneath of the garage door over here. Let's take a peek and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can see this crack below the garage here. I'm gonna fix this with a very affordable solution. The solution is called the SnirtStopper, kind of a funky name, but let's take a peek at it over here. This guy right here is gonna hook on the bottom of the garage, and it has a little foam padding inside, and that foam padding is going to help insulate and fix the gap issue I have over here. So a couple months ago, I went to this company called SnirtStopper. It's kind of a funky name, but for 140 bucks, I bought two 10-foot original premium bottom siller garage door sills. A ship wound up. I've been running these in the garage next to a kerosene heater. Not this one, obviously, but the one I showed you laid out to straighten it out. And they also send you a cool little magnet here. That's kind of cool. And then they send you the instructions. And then these are the screws that you use to actually put it on the bottom of the lip of the garage. They recommend every 6 inches drive one of these in. Now, before I ordered it, I got a sample, and they send you a little tiny sample that you can test with. And this is really handy because it helps you understand how it's gonna hook. And this thicker end here is gonna actually go on the bottom of the garage. And you'll use these self-tapping metal screws to basically just go right through into the garage. And the inside of this almost looks like just a pool noodle, right? It's just a piece of foam. So you are paying a bit of a premium, I feel like, for the materials, but it's taking into account their design and the engineering that they did, because two of the 10-foot ones in black, 140 bucks, so 70 bucks for 10 feet is what I effectively paid. So about $7 a foot. But that's how it looks up close. Now let's go ahead and install it. I gotta actually go get some scissors to cut this with. The ones I have here are not sharp enough because I'm gonna have to cut around a dry garage alarm magnet that I have. I don't want it to even get close to that and interfere because it could set the magnet off. When you cut it though, you can push this in, and then, you know, this material you can just basically cut. And it doesn't look like this would hold moisture at all. This is just like foam, and then it's in this nice covering. And it should do a really good job covering the gap. Okay, so I was running this John Deere A50 turbo kerosene heater in here to heat everything up. And I can't put it out in the sun because it's snowing and raining today, and that's kind of in the forecast for much of the week. I probably would put it out in the sun otherwise. But the first step is you want to basically, when I laid it down, I kind of went like this to really work out any of the wrinkles that were in it. But now that it's, you know, been warming up in here, I'm gonna do the same just to make sure there's no weird wrinkles or anything over that little foam that was inside that I showed you. And I'm trying to just make sure I get it as straight as I can, because when you install it, you want it to be nice and tight. They say, like a violin string. When you install it, this side with the loop right here is gonna face out. So in my application, where the logo is, and this floor is filthy, so excuse it getting dirty, but this is gonna be what hooks to the door, and it's gonna basically go up just like So I've worked this quite a bit. I'm not really sure how much more I need to do here. I wish it had have gotten hotter in here. It's 63 degrees, but that heater was blowing for about an hour. So that really helped get everything out. So let's get the garage lifted and I'll show you the install. Okay, so I'm gonna put this garage up at a height that's comfortable for me to work on it at, which is basically right here. And you can just see kind of some of this crud that just builds up. When that builds up, I don't want it coming into the garage. I want it to kind of stay out there. And this side of the building gets a lot of wind that comes in. So if you look a little close, you can get a sense for how mine is. And my garage has, you know, this like indentation that comes out. He said to mount it right here. And then about half that foam on the SnirtStopper will go here, and then half will be out and exposed. This is for the security system. I can't move this. And I'm hesitant to even have anything back here, because if this loses contact or thinks it does and the alarm goes off. So I'm probably gonna cut it right here, and then I'll have a little section to go in right here. The good news is this side of the garage down here sills much better. Then it kind of just like slopes down. Okay, so hopefully I'm not gonna be blocking too much here, but this is how mine is gonna go in. And you don't want all of the foam in here to go under the actual door. He says you want about half of that to go under the lip. And I did a bunch of measurements, and believe it or not, if I just line it right up to the top lip like this, it actually sits exactly how he's calling for. So I can just take this bad boy, put it on, and just line this section up, and that actually sits how he's calling for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and screw in the first one, and then you pull it really tight, and 12 inches you do the next one all the way down the line, and then you're gonna wanna go in between and do one every 6 inches. So let's get this first one screwed in, and then I can pull it kinda tight. And again, the side with the little loop right here goes outside, this side stays inside, and it has the logo. And you don't want it completely sitting on this foam. You want about half of this on the inside and just a little bit going up underneath of it. Let's get this screwed in. I'm just using a standard DeWalt 20-volt battery operated screw gun. He says 2 people might make this easier. I don't have that luxury, it's just me, but I think I'll be okay. So I'm just gonna try to drive in one of my screws initially. And see how hard or how easy it is. There was a guy riding a motorcycle today and it's snowing outside. That blows my mind. So I screwed that one into the bottom there, and then that's gonna let me begin to feed the rest exactly how I want it to go, which is basically just like this. So then I'll do another one right at 6 inches or 12 inches. And he says, pull it tight like a violin. And you can see I don't have any kinks or anything there, so that's really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the next one in. These self-tapping screws are very easy. I mean, it went in without any issues. So I got the next one in, and I'm just gonna continue to go down the line. I'll do this side here. I might have to do just a little bit of cutting there, but I'm just trying to get the main ones queued up. Every 12 inches, and make sure that you have it facing out the right way. So the install is going pretty easy. It's getting really nice and tight right here, every 12 inches. I'm kind of eyeballing it. I didn't measure it out completely, but I have a good sense of what 12 inches is. And then I'll go through here and do every other one. Well, you can see there's no kinks at all. And the underside is going in here absolutely perfect. We'll take a little bit of a closer look here. You can see how the screw goes in. I don't have any major kinks or anything here. And then the underside, that goes up under like so, and there's just a little bit of the foam in here. So, you know, when it shuts, it's gonna pull that and create that sill like I'm showing right there. Okay, it is installed, and I'm liking this product so far. You can see how it completely goes all the way down, every 6 inches. I got the screws, and you can see I cut around this sensor. I have enough extra where if I ever remove this sensor, I could have it go the full span. But this sill here actually was doing kind of okay because the concrete raises higher. But I'm hypersensitive about the magnetic connection there for the alarm. And the alarm, you know, it hits that plate on the bottom and then goes up to the sensor. But you can see how this looks. And you can see from the outside, that's how it's looking, where you get a little bit of this lip that goes up under. And then that kind of helps pull that foam, or that pool noodle, as I was calling it, in. And when you cut this stuff, it's pretty easy to cut. I mean, I just use basic scissors. I had to go buy some new ones because mine were a little dull, but just basic Dollar General Westcott scissors. You can easily cut through this material. And the pool noodle, or the foam, is equally as easy to cut. All right, so let's shut this garage for the first time. I don't see any gaps. I see none. Let me get you up close to take a peek. Before, you could see daylight, and I could like stick my hand under here. I mean, very, very snug. And I don't feel that big old breeze coming through. You can see it shut really good around the alarm. This was a significant gap, by the way. Probably nothing like most garages would have, unless you're in a 100-plus-year-old garage like myself. Concrete going out to gravel. I like it. I mean, this is a huge, huge difference than what I had before. I mean, I don't see any daylight coming through. Just maybe just a little tiny, tiny thread of light right there. But what's really remarkable is It's snowing and rainy today, and before I felt a draft coming through, and that's indicative of all of this crap that would blow in here. You don't have that at all now. Let's go take a peek outside. All right, so coming up to the garage, you can see what it looks like on the outside, which frankly, you wouldn't even notice it was there. So that gives you a really good idea of that sill that it's creating on the garage there. I guess the question is, do I like this? Absolutely. Better than a DIY job trying to come up with something. It's pretty easy to install. I mean, it would take you just a few minutes to actually install them, so that's not a big deal. I'm gonna do one on this garage next, which it doesn't really have any gap. It's asphalt coming into concrete, but I figured why not? And then eventually I'll do one on the big garage over here. But for now, I just wanted to address this. And I mean, this is a great solution. Thumbs up. I recommend it. Yeah, you could say, man, it seems expensive for what you're getting. You're getting a solution that you can install in 10 minutes for $70. That's fixing an issue that I've had since I put these doors on for like 2 years. And it's cold. It's cold out. It's snowing today. It's gonna be like that for a couple months. Anything I can do in an old building to kill the draft is fantastic. So thanks for watching. This is Jason with jamzDOTnet, cars, DIY, and adventures. I appreciate it. I hope you found this useful. And this is my unbiased opinion. I paid for these. They didn't give them to me. And if they sucked, I would have told you. I like them. I'm gonna put them on the other garages. Have a great day.